Here to pick up a swatter, right?
Not today.
No respect for the sport. Thirsty, Luke.
Oh hey, I didn't see you there. I was just playing around with the mod I made for Fallout 4. You know, the most popular mod for Fallout 4. Now everyone, don't try and get my autograph at once. Have you ever wanted to focus on something important that you need to do, but instead God sends you the Fallout 4 Next Gen update? I hate it when that happens. Well, recently, I started a melee playthrough on Fallout 4 because of the new update, and I was a little bit into the game when I had the best idea ever. Make a mod to put a Claymore into Fallout 4. Alright, I think some context might be needed here. So, going back to 2001, we've got the N64, terrorism, the iPod, and most important over all of these, a little something called Claymore debuted in Shonen Jump magazine in Japan. Shounen? Hold on, wait a second.
Shonen.
Alright, Shonen Jump apparently. Close enough, I don't care. Skip a few unimportant years where nothing notable happens and the manga is released in the United States in 2006. 2007 is apparently the year when Jesus came back to Earth because that's when the anime for Claymore released. Again, skip a lot of unimportant years and we arrive in 2022 when I finally see the anime for the first time. I don't know how I lived without seeing absolutely peak Kino. Anyways, this year I heard that the manga was actually much better and tied up a lot of loose ends that the anime had because the anime had its own ending that didn't follow the manga at all.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Luckily for me, I'm not just some loser that reads manga, so I never got it.
Jesus Christ!
So I read the entire series, played some Fallout 4, and had the worst idea of my entire life. Anyways, the creation kit is a lot more complicated than it seems at first, so let's just get into it. Part 1. I don't know how a 3D model works. So, my plan was to take a 3D model off the internet, put it in the creation kit, and make a simple weapon out of it easy as pie. Wrong! Difficult as cake. So I started off with a free model I just got off of Sketchfab, and I tried to put it straight into creation kit like a moron. So after realizing that I'm pretty sure I was doing something wrong, I decided to read a couple of things, watch a couple YouTube videos, and I finally figured out that I need to use Outfit Studio and Body Slide. And those are just a couple of tools used to make like different models for Fallout 4, I guess. I only used it for weapons, but apparently you can use them for outfits. So I threw the Claymore into Outfit Studio, and there was no texture. So far, I've really only had experience with 2D game development, so I kinda just assumed 3D models came with the textures already on them. But nope, OBJ files don't come with any texture data. At this point, I'm basically just slamming my head on my desk. I did some more reading, and it turns out that you need to make a .bgsm file with all of your texture data on it. One tutorial, a NIF scope, and a gun threat later, and we got a Claymore with a texture on it. We packed all that into a .NIF file, and we throw it into Creation Kit now that we actually have a weapon model, which means we're on to Part 2. It just works. So in the Creation Kit, I got started with making a copy of the sledgehammer and replaced the model with the Claymore. Then I just edited the stats for it to be more accurate to a big sword instead of a hammer. Everything looked alright in the creation kit, so I just went along and saved it to my Fallout 4 files and loaded it up. After that, I spent a solid 20 minutes trying to figure out how to use console commands because I'm an idiot. How did I make it this far in life? Finally, I got the Claymore put into my inventory, and when I equip it, it's not there, so now I just look like a schizo running around swinging a non-existent sword. So I had to go back and spend a few hours googling things because it could be a whole litany of issues until I found my solution. For some reason, I had to edit my Fallout 4 ini so I could allow for loose files because it doesn't do that by default. I hate modding Fallout 4 with a passion. Then, once I finally got the model to show, it was fucking gigantic. To make a long story short for that, I spent a whole evening just editing the size and position for the Claymore, just so it all looks nice and isn't goddamn huge. There was one issue though, the animations that Bethesda had built into the game just wouldn't work with this sword because the hand placements were always off or whatever reasons. So I just decided to use the best animation that lined up for the first person and said to hell with it for the third person. And if you're watching this video, I'm obviously not good enough to make the animations myself, and I didn't want to require mods using someone else's animations for a different weapon. But other than that, the base weapon is kinda basically finished. I just wanted to do one last thing, add attachments. And that brings us to now, the only reason I wanted to add attachments is because there's a part in the manga where a character finds an unsharpened claymore sword and promptly obliterates some poor guy's shoulder blades with it, which I thought was the best thing ever. So I thought it would be funny to add an unsharpened claymore blade as an attachment and make it able to cripple enemies easier in honor of Mr. Crunchy Bones. Maybe throw in a couple more add-ons just for good measure too. Now, that sounds easy enough, right?
Wrong!
I spent 2 days trying to figure out how to add the attachments. First, I started off just duplicating the sledgehammer mods and changing the stats to make them fit the claymore better. Then that didn't work, so I changed some things around, but to no avail again. And because I don't ever read documentation, I didn't know that you had to make a CL mod and a MISC mod to even get the ball rolling. And on top of all that, I never set active files, so I kept getting duplicate form ID errors at the ass and kept making new files because of it. I had 18 different files at one point and somehow used up every single byte of my SSD, which I didn't even think was possible. Eventually I figured everything out and got the attachments to work, or else you wouldn't be seeing this video, and I finally got my stupid shoulder destroyer. After that, all that was left was to upload the files to Bethesda.net, make the description and stuff, and I finally had my stupid obscure weeb sword. Afterwards, I did go back and clean some things up and whatever else people say when they did some bug fixing. And once that was done, I considered this mod to basically be finished. Now enjoy some lovely dark synthwave music to a compilation of me absolutely fucking destroying some people in Fallout 4 with the sword.
Pick up a swatter, right?
Not today.
You hand over everything you got in their pockets, or accidents start happening to you. Big, bloody accident.
Well, I sort of intended this video to be a little bit of a shorter one since it has basically nothing to do with my usual sort of game development stuff, but here we are with another 3-page long script and a story to tell. Anyways, the mod is available on Xbox right now and is on like version 3, I think. I'm trying to get a PC version, which might be ready by the time this video is up. But Bethesda is being stupid for some reason, not letting me upload the PC mod, so check Nexus, I guess. Anyways, that is all I have for this video. Let me know if there's anything I should change or add, but to be honest, I probably won't do it. Alright, I'm out of here.
You don't want to be like this. This is disgusting. This is awful in every way. If I could kill it, I would. But I legally can't. But I've considered it.